Hello everyone. Welcome to Raj Shikshan Sanstha's online learning program. Today we are going to study about the next chapter of Kumar Bharati 10th standard textbook 3.5. The name of the lesson is Unbeatable Supermom Mary Kom. Let us see brief information about Mary Kom. Full name of Mary Kom is Mary Monkey Kom. She is also called as a conqueror and comrade because of her achievements. Her achievements: she is 5 times world boxing champion and the only boxer to win a medal in every one of the 6 world championships. In the 2012 Olympics, she became the first Indian woman boxer to qualify and win a bronze medal in the 51 kg flyweight category of boxing. So these are the achievements done by Mary Kom. Birthplace: Mary Kom's birthplace is Kangte village, Morang Lamkai in Churchanpur district of rural Manipur in eastern India. That means she is from Manipur state which is present in eastern India. Her parents, Mangte Tonpa Kom, who was a green wrestler in his younger age, and Mangte Akam Kom. Her parents' occupation is they are poor farmers working in jhum fields. Jhum fields means they don't have their fixed field for work. She is from very poor atmosphere. Her inspiration is the success of Dinko Singh, a fellow Manipuri returned from the 1998 Bangkok Asian Games with a gold medal. This incident or this gold medal won by Dinko Singh became the inspiration for Mary Kom. Now Mary Kom's career. She had started first at 2000 after her victory in the Manipur State Women's Boxing Championship and the Regional Championship in West Bengal. In 2001, competing at international levels, she started in the international fields. At 18 years, international debut at the first AIBA Women's World Boxing Championship which was held in United States, where she won a silver medal in the 48 kg weight category. And her greatness is reinforced by the way she apologized the whole nation for not being able to win the gold. So she is very down to earth though she won the medal. Now let us start with the interview. The interview was taken an exclusive interview with sports Kida correspondent Taruka Srivastava. Olympic bronze medal, Mary Kom talked about her preparation for the Olympics and her elation at winning a medal. Elation means great joy. This was discussed in this interview. The interviewer asked her question: First, you are the first Indian female boxer to win an Olympics medal for India. Has the feeling completely sunk in? Here, sunk in means realize and accept. So Mary Kom replied, I am really happy with my achievement, and yes, it is yet to sink in. I am just so exhilarated. It is really very difficult to accept that she is the only Indian female boxer in Olympics to win the medal, and she is very thrilled about this thing. Then interviewer asked her, you are the only female representative from India in boxing. Did that put additional pressure on you? Mary Kom replied, no, not at all. I was pretty confident about myself, I knew. So, these lines shows her confidence in herself and her achievement. So, these things are very important for winning the games. Interviewer then asked her, your coach Charles Atkinson was not allowed to accompany you to the Olympics. How did that affect your preparations? Her coach was not present with her in the matches. He is not allowed to accompany her. So these things affected Mary. So Mary Kom replied, well, I did miss him there, but thankfully we had already done our homework and I was well prepared. That means she was not bothered about these things. She thought that they have well prepared previously, and that's why she is not afraid of all these things. Then interviewer asked her, during your preparations for the Olympics, you sparred with the male boxers of the Indian contingent. Who was your favorite sparring partner? Sparring means the peoples or the opponent boxers who helped during the practices. So Mary Kom replied. First she laughs and said, well, I trained hard in Pune and the male boxers were kind enough to practice with me whenever I required them. To name a favorite would be unfair. So she gently replied that so many male boxers have supported her and they are kind enough during her practices when she had done that practice in Pune, and taking some favorite name would be unfair to all that male boxers who have supported in her practice. The interviewer asked her, you were quoted saying Adams were very clever, a counter puncher. But although she carried power, she wasn't very tactical. I was scoring, but the judges were not pressing the buttons. Do you think dodgy judging was part of the reason for your loss in the semifinals? Here, tactical means planned actions to gain victory, and dodgy means unjust or partial. Interviewer asked her, Adams, who was her opponent in the matches, and she was not very tactical, not planned very actions to get the victory. But the judges have given the unjust or partial uh, reasons. That is the main reason to lose the semi-finals. Mary Kom replied, yes, I think some of the decisions were unfortunate and did not work to my benefit. She replied positive thing to this, that the judges have partially not given some marks or some points to her and that will affect to her benefit. Next question asked by the interviewer is, India managed just 6 medals in the 2012 Olympics, even though we are a nation of 1.3 billion people. Where do you think a change is required to get help us win medals that are proportionate with our population? That means Mary Kom, the interviewer asked Mary Kom that we are a nation of 1.3 billion peoples in India, and in opposite of that we won only 6 medals in 2012 Olympics. So it is really the scenario which we can change. Mary Kom replied, yes, I think more and more people should take up sports as a full-time career. If we want more gold medals, more corporates should come in and sponsor players so that the players don't have any financial pressure and can just focus on their games. Here corporates means companies or industries, and sponsor means organize that pays or aids sportsmen or sports event. So according to Mary Kom, in India, so many industries or companies are there. They should come ahead and give some aid or help, financial help to the players so that the sports person can only focus on their game rather than facing the financial pressure. Then only we can win more and more gold medals for India. Then interviewer asked her, do you think interest in boxing in India will ever go beyond the Olympics? Mary Kom said, yes, I am sure that in few years boxing will be very popular among everyone in India all the year around. So as like all other games as like cricket or hockey or boxing will also get that much interest in India by the peoples. Then interviewer asked her, how aware are Indian women of their nutrition requirements? Diet and nutrition must have been key factor in your conditioning for the Olympics. Do you think nutrition is a neglected area in Indian sports? Conditioning means becoming fit. So according to the interviewer, in India, Indian women, the athletes are not paying attention to their nutritional requirements. So is that nutrition remains the neglected area in the Indian sports? Mary Kom replied, the awareness is growing now among the female athletes when it comes to nutritional requirements. Nutrition has definitely been a neglected area in Indian sports. I had to gain 3 kg since I had to fight in the 51 kg event instead of the usual 48 kgs that I fight in. So I had to focus on what to eat. I gained weight by eating the right kind of healthy food rather than bad saturated fats. Saturated fats means unhealthy fats. So she replied, yes, nowadays nutritional requirements are come into the growing concern or awareness in the female athletes also. As she has given the example, here she had to gain her weight because she had to play from the 51 kg category rather than 48 kg, so that she had to gain 3 kgs of herself. So she had gained that weight by eating the right kind of healthy foods which can provide health to her rather than just eating the saturated fat, unhealthy fats which will just put on the weight. Then interviewer asked, how big a role did OGQ play in shaping the boxing scene in India for the better? OGQ means here Olympic Gold Quest. Maricom replied, OGQ really played an important part in my success. They helped me out whenever I needed something. They took care of everything, which helped me focus on my boxing and kept me stress free. So, OGQ is really helpful for Mary in her winning game and also keeping her stress free during the matches. Then interviewer asked her, what's your opinion on the future of Indian boxing? Mary Kom replied, the future is very bright and I am sure many more boxers will get medals for us. That means she is hopeful for the Indian boxing future. Interviewer asked her, do you find it difficult to convince your children not to fight when they watch you go out and do in style all the time? Mary Kom replied, well, I have twins and yes, sometimes it becomes really difficult to keep them under control. So she agrees that it is very difficult to keep her twin children under control. Then interviewer asked, will you train your kids to become boxer as well? Mary Kom replied, I haven't really thought about it. As of now, just let their mother box. That means she is not thinking about the future of her children. She thought that let herself only box for now, for just this time. Interviewer asked her, you have broken several stereotypes about the woman in India by showing that women can compete with men in any field. But how good are you at the traditional feminine activities like cooking? Stereotype means here a fixed idea held as common standards. That means women cannot do the things which men can. So here she had broken that several stereotypes that she can also participate in the boxing and won the medal as like men can. But the interviewer is asking, how about your feminine activities? That means how about your work, household work, you can do it or not? Mary Kom replied, well, I am good at cooking and other household works too. That means she is all rounder, she can do all these things, household works also. Then interviewer asked her, would you be interested in coaching Indian women in boxing one day? Mary Kom replied, let us see in future, maybe yes. That means she is ready to teach the Indian women, give training to them as a coach. Interviewer asked her a last question. What do you prefer, being called supermom or super boxer? Mary Kom replied, I love being a mom. That's the best thing that has ever happened to me. That means she is very happy in realizing herself as a super mom rather than a super boxer. So she is very down to earth and happy with her family also, as like she is enjoying her games. So I hope you all understood the lesson. Thank you for watching.